Hey
we
guys,
are live.
It is Scotch for Dummies, but
just the two of us.
That's
all we're gonna do, because that would be pretty.
That would be awkward.
Pretty.
All
awkward.
right. So welcome everyone. We are live tonight, and I am playing Drew, so I don't really know what I'm doing, but we're gonna have fun with this anyway. We are live from my basement tonight. Everybody else is out of town.
Not mine.
Not yours.
Because mine's very not set up.
Well,
so
I went to Sean's house today and basically gutted his basement to be able to run this tonight. I got the computer.
And literally everything is. I asked him. I was like, Is this everything from the other place?" And he's like, "Yep."
Yep. Pulled the lights. Pulled the computer. Pulled the mics. I didn't. The thing I forgot to bring, which is stupid of me, is the whiskey we reviewed this week.
Oh, and
actually those are at Mark's house. But anyway, we had two more of the Game of Thrones this week. So that was the big deal. We're continuing to work through the Game of Thrones. We're trying to get them out as fast as we can because they're hot right now. And they're all out. People are seeing them. A lot of times you just see onesie-twosie bottles around. So what we want to do is get the whole series out. We've got all the bottles over here.
I don't know if you can see that. I got to step away.
Yeah, we got the whole series over here. And we're going to try... now these ones aren't open yet, so we're trying to save these for later. But we've got two more to try. We need to do the Talisker and the Oban, but we've tried all the other ones, and we'll try and hit that there.
The videos
are posted on, and actually we're going to post another one. Hey, Drew made it. We are going to post another one probably tomorrow. It's the Klein Leash for patrons first, and then that will come out to the public on Monday. So we're not going to do two this week. We're just doing that. The White Walker, no, that's not here either. So sorry to say.
Well, there is a bottle of it here, but it probably won't get open.
No, we've got other stuff back here
tonight
to do. It's definitely a lot more fun.
That's all right.
So now to talk about those, the key with the whiskeys for this week, and really for the whole flight that we've seen so far, with the exception of the Lagavulin, is that they are, and one of the commenters coined this phrase, which I think is great, they're solid but unremarkable. So
pinpoint.
You won't be ashamed to have the bottles, but you're not going to say, wow, this is fantastic. I need 4 more bottles of that. I need to put it in my lineup. Except for the Lagavulin, I'd say that's one that, that made my top 5 of the year. So that's a fantastic bottle.
I think a lot of people already know I got the Singleton just because I enjoyed a couple of the other Singletons, and then the higher one, the Klein Leash, because that's 51.2%. So, and since I like the higher ABV, that's the 2 I got, but I haven't seen the Lagavulin yet. Haven't really looked. So.
I saw that at there's another whiskey store. I was in town this weekend. It was Cons, and they had it for $89 listed. So which is above. It's above the list rate.
What was that one? Was that one 69?
That's like 65, 69. Yeah, it's in that range. So it's only $10 or $15 over. That's not too bad.
Yeah. So
yes, Steve A. I quoted his review. It was Steve A. that put the solid but unremarkable.
We use our references. We reference our references.
References or
we
footnote or no, whatever.
Yes.
So who do we have on tonight?
Alrighty.
Let's go through the list. So we got Eric and Bob H. and
Yes.
Mark. And who was first in? Moose 76 was in first.
Boom
Kenneth
shot.
and Bud. And if you're online and you're not commenting, then I don't know if you're there. So that's kind of the issue.
And then is there another Eric with a C on tonight? Because Eric asked, who is Eric with a C?
Oh, because Bob said hi to Eric. And that's the wrong Eric.
Uh-oh.
So,
Who else? Mark.
Elijah Craig,
Goins.
Mark J. Goins, Moose 76. Kevin's on. Kevin met Maito.
Hello, Bob. I see that
good
now.
computers.
Oh, Tom did make it.
Tom made it. Drew made it.
There you go, Drew.
So I'm gonna try and pronounce this the way he taught us to. Colin. It's Scottish, and it's Scottish Gaelic. No, he's Irish Gaelic. So I was trying to get it right, but it comes through as Gachain, but it's Gachain or something like that. Gachain sounds more Scottish than anything. All right, so I guess we're running. Drew, are we all live? Are we doing all right? I don't know if we're still streaming.
People can tell us if we're
Yeah, I don't know if we're still streaming. So I'm
choppy, something like that.
Health looks good.
It's showing good health. That's cool.
All right.
So, what is everybody drinking tonight?
Yeah, we're not. I don't know if we're gonna have time to do the photo because
That's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, because there's too many of us.
Well, I feel like Drew tonight. I'm running around with my head cut off. What?
There's too many of us.
There's too many of us to get this figured out,
Yeah,
and we won't
there
fit
you
it.
go.
We won't fit
I
in
don't
the
care.
camera.
We'll
Whoops,
still
no,
post this
spin
at
that.
least on Instagram for us. Oh,
Cheers.
there we go.
What you drinking? So
There we go.
tonight in my glass, I am drinking the Deanston Virgin Oak because I happen to have it available. I decided not to go peated yet because I want to just save my palate. And actually, may have made a mistake. I went out for Indian food tonight, so that may have completely destroyed my palate. So I need to kind of wash it.
What'd you have?
I had lamb vindaloo, which
Was
was
it
pretty
spicy?
spicy. It was medium hot
Oh,
spice, which I
okay.
wasn't thinking. And gawkin. Yeah, okay. Irish Gaelic. Yeah, it was, and some naan and some other stuff. So it was good,
That just means we have to give you like high proof stuff to
High proof would probably
really
burn it out.
pull it out.
It'd extract it from my palate. Yikes.
That's okay. Alrighty, what else? We got some Greg's drinking some Deanston. Keith's got some, or Kenneth's got
Elijah
some
Craig barrel
Elijah
proof
Craig.
again.
See, that stuff's good stuff, man.
Elijah Craig
good
barrel proof,
stuff.
yeah, it is.
Good stuff.
You
I've
never
got
bring it
actually. Andrew was nice enough that he let me have a little pour of the Glenmorangie Star.
That was one of my
This is
Christmas
good.
bottles. I
This
bought
is
it for
good.
myself. It's a 2017 bottling,
Yeah,
and it's this great
105.
greatness.
52.5.
Yeah, I mean this is the one where they put extra effort into the barrel. So they took only trees from the northern slopes of Missouri Ozarks, and then they cut the trees down and aged the wood for 2 years in the yard before they made the barrels out of it. Then they took the barrels and gave them to, I think it was Jack Daniels to first fill.
Little Tennessee.
Once they first filled, then they
Okay.
went to Scotland, and
It's amazing
became-
how they do that.
I mean, and think about that. So you got to pay extra for the trees.
Most scotches
yeah,
come from other places. The barrels.
yeah, they get. Oh, well, the barrels come from all over, but this
Times.
one was unique that it was. I mean, they were in charge of the wood from the time the trees are cut down. That wood is going to be ours, and so 2 years in the yard, 2 or 3 years in a barrel before you can ever even start it to age for that. And I don't know, it's a non-age, so I don't know the age in the years, but that's a long time. That's a lot of work.
That's pretty cool. Though.
It is. It's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite peated, non-heavily fruited whiskeys because it's just so well balanced.
Glenmorangie, man.
So well balanced, and I think it's their same new make in there, so it's all about the barrel.
Yeah.
Yes, Moose 76. They also just sprinkle them with unicorn tears.
Yeah.
That really is what adds that extra. That's why that. See, yeah, because this is 52 2.5% alcohol. It would be 53%, but it's 0.5% unicorn tears.
Oh, okay.
And that's what makes it so special.
And brings it down.
Yep.
To Glenmorangie goodness.
It is. You know, and the Glenmorangie isn't one of our favorites, but hey, I'm sorry.
I enjoy it.
Yeah. Don't which one? The La Santa and the Quinta Ruben those are both good. Yeah.
La Santa's probably up there.
Yeah.
And during one of my I got lucky that during one of my work dinners we went to a really nice place and I got some Signet. I was like, yes, please.
The Signet, yeah, that's a special bottle always.
That was really good. So
definitely. Who's drinking the Bunnahabhain 18? Did I see that right?
I don't know.
Dram Dude was asking about that. Nocturnal Royal Lochnagar. Oh, Steve's watching Royal Lochnagar 12. They're drinking it.
What else is going on, man?
Deanson 12. Right.
Blank.
Screen.
Okay.
That's your Blackhawks.
Right. There you go. Blackhawks 3-1. Yay. Is that first, second, third quarter? Or
quarter?
Series.
So are you a Blackhawk? Are you really a hockey person? They don't do quarters.
I enjoy hockey.
I thought they had 3.
I don't understand it fully, but I enjoy it.
It is fun to watch.
So.
Have you ever been to the local
Fuel? Yep, that's what kind of triggered this shirt.
So
and me asking for this for Christmas. So this is new. Of course, I have to wear it on first day I get back from vacation and holidays. So it's new.
Yeah, there's a local. Are they minor league or they're a feeder for the Blackhawks? And
correct.
they're just a good
Indy Fuel,
and they're just a good time. I mean, they're a lot of fun to have.
Yeah.
You know, the beauty of it is it's fairly small, so you buy tickets and then you pretty much sit where you want to some extent, and you can get really close to the ice.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of good
kids each got a puck during.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when they were like before the game, when they were practicing.
Oh.
Like if kids will go up against the glass and bang on the glass, and they'll toss a puck over. And both my kids got one. So
that's cool. That's a lot of fun.
My son was just absolutely to the stars because he's like, I got a puck.
A puck. It's a real puck.
Give me a puck. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty, let's get back to some whiskey.
All right. So we've got some more. What bottles did Santa bring? That we will get to that in a second.
Yeah. Who asked that question?
That was Scotch on the Bayou.
Oh, okay.
Oh, this computer screen. Drew, we got to replace his monitor. I'm telling you.
Jason Whiskey Wise is on now.
Oh, Jason, man. So we had I was on for about 2.5 hours earlier with Aquavite. So I'll talk to
Good old
that.
Roy.
So Roy had a live this afternoon, and one of the things he was talking about, and he brought a bunch of whiskey tubers on. Malta Man Cave was on. Jason Whiskey Wise was on. Scotch Test Dummies were on. Whiskey Whistle was on. There's more. I can't remember who all they were. Whiskey and Six came in for a little bit, but he was in and out. And essentially the key was, number one, it's a great year for whiskey. And what kind of was your key whiskey experience for the year? So lots of course, the Scotch Test Dummies, their 5th year anniversary was a real eye-opener for them.
Oh, yeah.
But probably it really kind of started with when they went to Austin, Texas for the Whiskey Tribe, when they're opening a distillery, and they kind of did that as well, and just the camaraderie and the connection that you get. For us, I said it was the New York trip and the interview with John Glaser. So some of you may or may not know, you were able to sit down with John Glaser for about a half an hour while we were in New York City in the Spaniard Bar, which is what the Spaniard whiskey is named after. He worked with Mikey from the Spaniard to make the original Spaniard.
So there's two.
There's two.
The story of the Spaniard.
The story of the Spaniard is the new version.
Okay. And
so the Spaniard, or as John calls it, Mikey's Spaniard, was a bespoke bottling just for the bar. 360 bottles possible.
Oh, okay.
But what it did is it kind of primed the pump with John on how to make a whiskey that had a lot of Spanish influence, Spanish sherry or Spanish wines, other Spanish wines to finish that then you could sell to the world. Because the way they set that up, there's only 360 bottles. You couldn't.
Right. Yeah.
So he had to source from a bigger pool to be able to sell globally the story of the Spaniard. And I think the intention is the story of the Spaniard would be a core lineup. So that's going to be one of the core lines. Okay. And so we were in the Spaniard. We're talking to him. The interview will go out fairly soon. We're still working on a little bit of logistics on it, but then that'll go out, and you'll just see what we saw, because the recording was essentially live, and it was we just let the camera roll and we just talked. And so you were able to see him get all passionate about whiskey and building the whiskey and all that kind of thing. We kind of geeked me out.
That's amazing, just for the fact that it's the person that created Compass Box, right?
Yeah, he is the founder and whiskey maker.
That's top guy. You're not getting any higher than him.
No, I mean, and he's from Ohio. He went to Miami, Ohio.
His willingness to talk to you guys was pretty amazing.
Yeah, we had a great time, and there's more behind that, but we'll get to more of that in another discussion, because there's more to the story that is really fantastic. And the other thing about that is we met so many other people. We met Whiskey.Wednesday. He's a Instagrammer. He was in the bar afterward. They're having just a little meet and greet, and he was at the bar. We met him, and we gave him a hat. So all this kind of stuff. Where it's like, that's
pretty cool.
And then at the Whiskey Fest that we went to New York for, just lots of great ambassadors, lots of good whiskeys, seeing some new whiskeys. In fact, one of the things that I was most interested with that is the Glen Rothis line. That Glen Rothis we've had several, we reviewed several, but I haven't been that impressed with them. They've never been that great, I don't think. But they are blowing up their line and completely changing the way they do it. And so they've got certain age statements and certain types of bottlings.
I seem to remember you guys talking about something similar to that, another distillery that was doing that. Was it Old? Not Old. Was it Old Pony or was it Glenmore?
Jura did that for a while.
Jura did that. Just because, I remember the discussion saying something about, kind of reform what's going on for the fact because it's been in the back seat for so long. What can we do to kind of bring it up front? Exactly. And so when distilleries do that, that's their plan. They're like, and we need to get a niche. We need to get something that we can get out there a little bit better and get out to the masses a little bit more. Making sure everybody realizes that this is a new line. It's got a new taste. You're going to enjoy it. We know we had problems with the previous one. Now it's going to be a little bit better. So let's get this out here. And
that's a hard thing to admit as a distillery.
Oh,
you guys, we've not been doing our best. So we're going to change that. So we're doing that. And so that was a great event. And talking on Aquavite, and then he has a quiz at the end of his live stream. And 10 questions.
A Roy quiz. So
his quizzes are like, what is the middle name of the third distillery manager for some distillery you've never heard of?
Between 2008 and 2016.
We're dummies, but man, I just bombed at it. And there were only 3 choices.
Did he ask all you guys that, though?
Yeah, there were 3 of us were on. Okay. It's multiple choice.
I see Malted Man Caves on now.
Yeah, I think he had to leave before he got to that.
Before that?
Yeah.
Keith, you got out of
it. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, that was smart, Keith. Because, there's only 3 choices, and I got 2 out of 10 right. So I did not represent
something, man.
I did not represent well in the quiz, but that's fine. I now know that there's a whole different level of knowledge for distillers and things that I have not gotten into.
You hit 2. Who goes to say that Mark or Sean or Drew would have
They might have gotten some too, yeah. And the key also is, I think the best they had online of all the people that were watching, of the 140 people that were watching, 8 out of 10, there's 1 8 out of 10, a few 7s, lots of 6s and 5s and 3s and 2s. Because it was really, what is the maximum airspeed velocity of unladen swallow? Yeah, that's exactly what it was like, I'm telling you. It was embarrassing. All right. So let's go back to what we got here. Who's out still on? And who have we missed? I'm sure George Kaplan is on.
Got 44 people on.
44 on. No, 53 on.
53?
Showing over here. Oh, it's peak. Oh, whoops, I just messed up the screen here. All right.
You're killing me, Smalls.
I am. That's my job.
That's my movie quote for the day.
6 was on. So Mark bombed his cruises. Good. I'm good company there. I'm not too bad. Is that somebody from South Louisiana? Trooper Henry, are you in South Louisiana with Scotch in the Bayou? That'd be interesting. You guys need to talk to each other. All right. A lot of questions of trivia are irrelevant to understand. Yes, they are. So, Eric...
African or European.
Yeah.
Swap. That's funny. I like that.
Oh, man. But yes, so some of his questions immediately... One of the questions was the middle name of the founder of one of the distilleries, Glengoyne. So they are fairly unique trivia, hard to find trivia. No, and I wasn't cheating. I wasn't typing, Googling, trying to figure out the answers while it was coming up.
That's probably what he's trying to make sure that you're not Googling. What's the middle name of the distillery?
Yeah, exactly.
So
I tried to go with the Christmas themes, and so the middle name of the guy's main name wasn't Noel.
Nicholas.
No, it wasn't Noel.
Nicholas or Noel.
All right. All right. So we have hit the whiskeys for the week. We've done a little bit of news. What do you want to do?
What'd you get for Christmas, Andrew?
So I did, since we're at my house, I did happen to have what my wife knows I like Scotch and knows I like to taste it and knows I like to kind of
learn about it.
So
education.
I got
a learning moment.
Probably the way I can learn the best and will always be the best is this is the whiskey wheel. So everybody has, let me just make sure you can see this on the screen. Everybody should have a whiskey wheel or an aroma wheel. If you don't have that,
download it.
Download it.
You can download it.
But what comes with this one specifically,
this is pretty nice,
is this. I am trying to be a whiskey, well, I'm not really going to be, but this is the task for me to get into the whiskey sommelier group. Whoops. Thank you. 88 different flavors and noses that can be in whiskey.
So have you went through all these?
I have gone through most of them. I have not hit all of the fruits because there are like 19, 20 different fruits, which I didn't get through all the fruits.
Okay. Hey,
Drew Bills. What do you do?
Oh, Drew Bills?
Oh, my God.
Thank you, Drew Bills.
So this is going to be fun. I'm going to have to spend some time with this, going through the book here. Cheers. Hold on.
You're fine.
All right. So we got the book here, and it's got 23 different fruits, 6 different florals, different flavors from maturation in oak, like caramel, honey, vanilla. In the peaty side, which is one I've gone through a couple of times, you've got toast. The iodine, seaweed.
Drew Bills.
Yes, there's toast in there.
Toast.
Shellfish, flint, kerosene, rubber. So we got a Macallan right there with the rubber.
But you haven't been through all these yet, right?
Not through all of them.
Okay. I was going to ask you, when you get through them all, I want to know what the worst one was.
Shellfish. That one is
extremely
potent. That would
be pretty brutal.
It's extremely potent. So I don't really like that one.
What's 58? Looks like
flint.
rock.
It's flint. And so that's one that I know. And you know what's interesting is I smelled that. I know there's some whiskeys that we've tasted recently that have a mineral quality. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, that's the flint nose. That's exactly what it is. So this is where I'm starting to learn how to pick out individual flavors and trying to get that
rubber band. Is that what that?
60 is rubber. Yeah,
rubber band. Gas.
Get your kerosene. Moss. Yeah, I mean, so there's lots of different flavors here. So this is where it's going to be interesting to find kind of. I love the Ardbegs, and there's a lot of that seaweed. There's some black tea. There's some of these other and there's an old Band-Aid, and there's medicinal, which are a little bit different, oddly enough. So it's going to be interesting to go through.
I like number 62.
What's that?
Bacon.
Can't go wrong with bacon.
Bacon. So what was the difference between the 54 and 57, which is 54 just shows a fish.
Yeah, the 54 is...
And 57 shows shellfish.
You know, when I tried the 54, the fish, it was really subtle. I couldn't pull it out. Because as you're going through that line, I think you burn out your nose a little bit. So when I smelled fish, it was like, I don't really smell much there. But when you got to sea or shellfish, oof, that one's potent. It's like the syrup. Well, let me pull that one out for you just to show you what some of these are like. It's a lot of fun. And so I'm going to spend some time, and there's probably lots of comments going on right now that I can't see. So if you want to look at those while I try and find the...
you open that box and I smell stuff already.
Yes, yeah. I think there's one of them leaking. So this is fish.
KB, hey KB.
There's the fish smell.
What's up?
And then we'll go to the shellfish, which is that. It's like tar. And I'm not sure. Do you want to try it?
Not really.
You got to try it. The thing is, you open it.
I don't want to get it on my fingers.
You don't have to pull the seal on it. You'll be able to smell it fresh out.
Is there a stink bug on here?
I don't think. So this is going to be fun. There's instructions on how to kind of learn the palate and then test yourself, and then test.
It smells like my trip to Destin at a fresh seafood restaurant.
Shellfish. It's not bad shellfish. It's not that the shellfish has gone bad. It's just, it's a very strong aroma.
Yes. And I'm still smelling it.
Some of them, do you need a lime to cover to take the...
What is that?
It smells a little bit. It's a little bit of urinal puck lime. It's not a really fresh lime, but it's kind of lime-ish.
It smells good.
So that'll help burn some of the nose out of your nose. All right. So I'm looking forward to spending some time with that.
That's neat.
And along the same lines is, as a scientist, you need to have your beakers and Erlenmeyers. And so my wife went to this periodic tableware company. I think it'll focus.
Retire to my nerdery.
And I can use this as a Glencairn.
You can't really stick your nose in that, though.
No, but you can. Well, yeah, it's the scale. It's a little bit off.
You know what would go great in here?
What's that?
Fireball. It's even got the measuring.
Yeah,
I can do 20 Fireball and 20 rum chata, so you can have the perfect cinnamon toast crunch.
Cinnamon toast
crunch. Right,
Tom?
Tom?
Is that how you make cinnamon toast crunch?
Yes, that's how you make cinnamon toast crunch.
Oh.
Fish, yes. Major fish shenanigans.
Fish shenanigans. Bottle 56 is Bart's Feet. Nice. Very nice. Oh, man. It was like low tide. All right, so what did we miss while I was talking about the nastiness that can be shellfish. Yeah, Steve A's got one. He's got a 24, and I think KB and Bob have a 24, I think, as well.
I can imagine it'd be pretty good to start learning.
Yeah, I mean...
or continue your journey.
Exactly. I mean, that's my problem, is I don't think that my palate is particularly well educated. So when Sean is pulling marzipan and all these unique flavors out,
Sean's got
the way I'm learning is from him doing that. And that's from KB.
KB,
thank you, KB.
Thank you, KB.
And what Aqua Vitae was saying, it's a virtual dram. Each poured a virtual dram.
Virtual dram.
Thank you.
There you go, for each of us.
Mm-hmm. Which I'm about.
Thank you, sir.
So that's going to be a problem.
Yep. Resale on the Game of Thrones Scotch. What do you guys think?
Well, we've seen some places selling it for between $800 and $1,800.
$1,800, which is, what'd you say, about $450.
$50
after
include tax, probably,
and stuff like that. That's
that's secondary market. I mean,
yeah,
you know about that.
I have this discussion with people all the time of secondary market, because the bourbon secondary market is just ungodly. You know, the stuff, you know, one of my topics I always think about is what kind of like secondary market truly is there for Scotch versus secondary market for bourbon. Because it seems to me, in my eyes, since I'm always looking for the bourbons, that it's more bourbon
really
than Scotch. But I've never really looked for like hard to find. Like if it's hard to find Scotch when, you know, Sean and you and the guys talk about it, I feel that if you look, you'll find it.
Yeah.
And you will be able to buy it, whether it's online or something like that. Granted, you know, you look, but then again, there's like the Macallan #1, which that skyrocketed and it's impossible to find. But in my eyes, I don't know, maybe people can expand on this, but the bourbon secondary market right now is just, it's ridiculous. That's kind of what's leading me to be a lot more open-minded to Scotch right now.
Oh, because you can get it?
Just for the fact that, you know, all the different flavors is good. You know, granted, I'm staying away from, you know, the peated stuff because that's just not stuff I like right now. But who knows? You know, whether it be Drew or any of your other guys, you know, you kind of go through these phases, and that's what I've watched between, you know, Roy and a bunch of the other ones, Scott and Bart, and, you know, not being peated at first and then kind of getting into it. But yeah, there's just so many lotteries now that we deal with. That are they dealing with that in Scotland? Are they dealing with the lotteries? I have no idea.
Well,
but that's what I'm seeing here, and that's what completely irritates me.
Yeah. No, I don't. You know, Scotch distilleries, they will release certain bottles to UK and certain bottles to the US, and so they do have certain bottles are only available in certain locations, and so I would think the secondary market would be big on that. But again, I guess you got to have the Scotch secondary market website as opposed to the bourbon. Do they have bourbon, or do they have Scotches on the areas that you go to look for them?
No, because no.
Okay, well.
Mine's strictly the bourbon ones, but yeah, it's like I said, I'll look, you know, I'll hear some of the guys talk, and I'll online and about different Scotches, and I'll just Google it and say, okay, go up to shopping, and I hit that shopping button, and it comes up. And it doesn't seem, in my eyes, it doesn't seem like where a bottle of, let's say, Pappy, or I'll say Lot B, 12-year, retail technically is like $69.99, and it's $450. So multiplying that by that, I don't know, because I don't know Scotch prices very well. Like when I get online, is this Scotch actually so many pounds or something like that? You know, and they're doing the different, you know, calculations and stuff like that. But it seems super ridiculous to me. And that, like I said, that's what's kind of opening my eyes to a little, maybe dabbling in a little more Scotch, just for the fact that I'm still looking for it, don't get me wrong. So, you know, I'll continue to go to these lotteries and try my luck, but I'm opening up my range a little bit more.
So when you go to these lotteries, do you pay then like the basic retail price, or they already jacked up the price?
They've jacked up the prices on top of that too. So, you know, a lot of times, because it kind of goes with the distillery sells it to the distributor for a price, and once that price is set, then the distillery has nothing to do with it, and then it gets into the store, and then they don't have anything to do with the price there, and then the store can
do what they want.
Can kind of almost do what they want, but they've just got to remember, and a lot of ones, like I've also followed this hilarious site on Facebook of sketchy, like bourbon sketchy something, that like people go into like liquor stores and see like a 12-year Lot B, and it'll have a price tag of like $4.99, and they're like, okay, this guy what is this guy thinking? You can get it for $400 on secondary market, and this store is trying to sell it for $4.99.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, are they playing a game? Are they playing the classic game of, you know, they'll hold it at that price for a long time and wait for somebody to buy, let's say $10,000 worth of stuff, and they'll be like, yeah, well, okay, for you,
we'll give you that for
$400. I'll go ahead and drop this down to $400 if you want. I don't know, because I'm not going to really be that guy, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm too cheap to do that. You know, if you know that from the distillery, if you could go to their distillery, you could get it for $40, and they're asking $300 for it. Well, number one, I'm not going to pay $30 for a bottle. Well, I'm not going to say I'll never.
I was going to say I'm more than willing. I'd be more than willing to find something I really, really want at, let's say, $300. As long as I knew that was like MSRP.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
if that was MSRP, and I know I'm going to love this bottle
every day.
If I've had it, okay, I may pay for it, but.
Yeah.
But then again, there's a couple other ones that are like $150 I can get too.
Exactly.
Or
that's how we do our reviews.
So
that's part of is this worth it to us for this price? Sometimes a $30 bottle is a better value. Or a $150 bottle is a better value than maybe a $50 bottle. It's really not. It's just off. So that's something you have to work through, and that's a personal choice. And that's why when we do our reviews, we'll discuss what we like about it. We'll discuss the tasting notes. Mm-hmm. We'll discuss what the price is, and if at that price for this whiskey, I give it a 2 to 4. You know,
a lot of reviewers add in availability and price.
Yeah, we've never done that 80 to 100 rating that most people do. Yeah. We probably need to. I think we need a little bit of reference to that, but we'll see.
That's okay.
We're good. All right, let's move on. Are there any big comments we need to talk through? I see there's Drew is blowing up the chat down there, and I appreciate that.
And it's funny that his face is everywhere.
His face is everywhere. Talking about watering down whiskey. So, on the topic of watering whiskey, yes, you can water up to whatever your palate does, and I generally like a little bit higher ABV because I like the potency of flavor. But we know when you add water, it changes it, and sometimes
it calms it down.
What was it? So we were talking to John Glazier about this, and I think this was after the cameras were turned off. This is after the cameras were turned off, so it's not going to be on.
Okay, as long as you're not ruining stuff, man. You need these people to come back.
You'll come back, but this one was when he gets a bottle or a cask sample, mm-hmm. They always dilute it to 20 ABV to keep everything on the same playing field.
Wow.
So they bring it way down. That's like the 50%, like he's saying.
It way,
he was saying you water 50-50 with water, and that's what they bring everything down to 20 ABV to taste the flight. So the alcohol content has no influence on the flavor palette that he's pulling out. But they may barrel it at a much higher ABV because that's what they want. Mm-hmm. So it's an interesting thing that they use that to be able to pull all the flavors out.
Tom, we got Tom's full attention now.
Who are they talking about?
Done playing a little WoW.
Oh, wow. Okay. He's back on now. Good times. All right. Well, why don't we? I need to pour another glass, and I know you've got some things over there that we may want to get to. It is already. We've only got 20 minutes left.
20 minutes left.
Wow.
I didn't think we'd get this far. I thought we'd be done by now.
I did too.
And we still have some people in here, so that's cool.
I don't know if I can.
I haven't scared them completely away.
You haven't. We're good. We're having a good time here. All right, let's see if we go down here. See what we got. Public view. I wanted to see if I could get how many are online. Do you have them in your online right now?
44.
All right.
Yeah.
So
I'll show you one of my. I'll actually, now that Tom's back, I will happily say little Christmas gifts for me. One of them was I met up with Tom, and he was, hey, what?
Oh, Nocturnal! Thank
Nocturnal.
You.
Cheers.
Virtual dram, which
virtual jam. Once
we pour something, we'll do something.
But he was generous enough to supply me with a little sample pack of some of his stuff. So I am
that's
very
great.
excited to get into that. And one of them, I will tell you what one of them is a ball blair.
Really?
An older ball blair.
You don't like ball blair, though.
Because I am obviously becoming a ball blair fanboy. Because everything I've had from them right now is just fantastic.
Just like Drew is a Deanston fanboy.
Yes. So I'm doing that. So
that's great.
I'm super anxious. Tom, wasn't it the 83, I believe? So
83?
So yeah.
So that's really old.
Yes.
So, yeah. That would be.
And then I can't wait. One of the KB gift of the 90, I'm opening that on New Year's.
Oh,
for New Year's.
Very nice.
I'll take my first sip of that in 2019. So that way I can say that's going to be my ceiling of what can I hit to be as good as that for 2019.
Yeah, that's great.
So because I had to.
So that'll be your number one bottle of the year.
Number one bottle of the year, and then it'll have to find out what happens with the rest of the year. So I'll have a full year to try to top that, which I.
Good luck.
Yeah, that's what I'm having fun with. But who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
So, but then another thing I got, which I brought over for him to try, was a buddy of mine gave me a partial bottle of Kentucky Owl Rye 11 year. And I was trying to bring something over, but trying to find something in his wheelhouse.
We'll see.
So it's hard. But this is the batch 2, which is 11 years, small batch, Bardstown, Kentucky, bottled 03 of 18, batch number 2. So I had a little swig of it, not a swig out of the bottle or anything. I had a little glass of it at my buddy's house up in Wisconsin, and then end up being able to bring it home with me. And so I was pretty excited about it, and I wanted you to try it just to see what you thought of it.
So admittedly, I'm not a bourbon aficionado. I don't know bourbons very well. And so this is, I was hoping you would bring something that we could kind of talk through
I don't know if people can see that.
To understand.
Number 2.
Get that. Because I want to learn. I mean, there's obviously a huge market for bourbon. It's incredibly popular in the United States and around the world. And I don't have, my palate isn't refined around the bourbon flavor profile yet. So I need to get my flavor wheel out. And we've got caramel and honey and vanilla.
Caramel,
lots
honey,
of
vanilla,
those.
cinnamon.
Let's go in there.
It's tasty.
And
it was good. The glass that I have at my buddy's, like I said, it was really good. But
and this is what proof?
Myself too. This is 50.9%, which makes it 101.8.
Okay.
So wait. Oh, here we go.
Oh yeah. Do the. Do you get good flavors out of it? It's amazing what you get.
Right.
Yep. Look at the bottle. There you go.
I'm even on the right side.
Make it easier to understand.
Alrighty. But what do you think? Can you You haven't been through all.
I haven't been. Lots of oak, lots of rich. Definitely pulling lots of flavor out of that barrel. 11 years.
Yep.
So I don't have the wheel, but it's almost cedar. I mean, it's almost. That's kind of the
thing. I didn't get a chance to do any kind of research or anything. I just wanted you to try it and see what you did, see what you thought, see if you can pull out anything. Because on
the nose, I'm getting it smells like cedar.
Clearly get the rye,
but the cinnamon. Yeah, that's probably what it is. It's probably a combination of the oak and the rye is making it smell like cedar. Interesting. Definitely
the caramel, the cinnamon.
I'm not sure I'm getting any honey in it right now.
No, not yet.
Man. But I'm sure there'll be people mocking us online, so let's see what people are saying.
Yeah.
Yes, bourbon versus Scotch. We have a whole discussion on that, but we're talking about bourbon now.
Yeah.
Let's go into this. So 101 proof. Wow, it's
101.8. I don't think it tastes like 100.
No way.
I'd give it more of about like a. Oh, I don't know if it's because I'm kind of dumb, but like low 90s, because it doesn't. I'm not feeling that Kentucky hug really, which is very smooth.
It is. You get a little bit on the finish.
Said smooth, and people don't like that.
No, I don't care. It's your. But that's the thing. We're not snobs here. We're going back beyond that. No dill pickles, no licorice.
Really?
Dill pickles, maybe dill pickles.
I don't get the licorice really. I don't know if it's. But a hint of
Could
dill.
I get dill pickle? You know, I said no dill pickle, but then it smelled like. Yeah, maybe a little.
In a lot of
the saltiness
yeah.
and the sour. Is there like a sour note in there? Juniper? No, I don't know. Bay leaf? I'm not getting a lot of like grains.
A little mint.
Boy, I know it's no fun to watch people sniff glasses, but it's
or make the sound.
It's a lot more fun while we do it.
Has anybody else tried this? I think I saw Tom has tried this, I believe. I get the mint. Yep, I said the mint.
Mint? I don't get. You get mint?
Yeah, a little mint. You don't get the dill pickle though.
I think I got the dill pickle.
Maybe not the pickle part, but like the fluid. You know, when you're making dill pickles,
pickle juice, yeah,
and then that little foam that's on the top layer when it's covered and the foam starts.
Yeah, it's like when I'm. It's going to sound weird.
It's not overcoming though.
No, like when I'm inhaling, when I'm nosing it, and then I slow down nosing it. That's when I smell it. It's not like that first. It's not an initial gust, but it's like a subtler. Maybe it's one. They say when you're nosing whiskey, you should start at your nose or start your chin,
and work your way up.
And when I'm about halfway up is when I get the dill pickle. Weirdly enough. So I'm enjoying it. This is nice. It's it's kind of fairly long finish, so you can just kind of let there and
that really popped.
Would it take some time?
Rice spice and dill and.
Oh, Eric, love it.
For a guy that produces honey, you don't.
I might
add a little water to it.
Yeah, I think I need to add water to it.
Just a drop, but.
Oh, that was too much. But we'll see. I can bring it down to 20% ABV, right? Oh yeah, that is so much softer and nicer now.
Okay.
No, I did add too much, but
I put a lot more in your glass or I drank it faster.
You drank it faster. Well, that rye really amped up the rye. Big time. That rye is so potent that it with the high ABV, it's really better balanced. I think it's better balanced with all the other flavors, but when you water it down, that rye really comes out. Now, I probably would give it a couple minutes to work.
I couldn't put any water in it because I knew what it tasted like in the first place. So. But we have time for something else real quick. Now that you've had that one.
Yep, what's that?
my next
I almost
one.
want to. Let me have a different glass because I don't want to rinse that out because I want to still be able to
smell it.
Nose that one, yeah.
Next one I brought over just to compare it is Pikesville Rye. This one's a higher proof though.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit. It's 110. Price point of this is about $45.
Yeah, that's right. That's
compared. And I've been through a few bottles of this already, so
it's like
I really enjoy this one.
Wheelhouse.
Because it's got the high proof, it's the rye,
yep.
Tastes real good. Whereas this one, I found out, is about $189.
Wow.
For batch 2.
So 4 times the price.
4 times the price. So I just wanted you to compare the two to see which one.
How is that like retail?
Yeah.
That's not even secondary market.
Yeah.
So what do
like
they
I said,
do?
I was lucky enough to have my buddy give me partial bottle of it. So.
All right.
I
got to drip down the side. You can pull the mark.
This is a funky bottle. So.
Pikesville Rye. Oh, this is much more subtle. The nose is not nearly as forward.
Compared to the Kentucky Owl?
I don't think so.
This is a higher proof.
I know. Well, I'm not. It doesn't nose hot. It doesn't smell alcohol hot. No. But the flavor balance seems lower. I mean, I'm not getting as much of the oak and that cedar and the stuff that was really coming out on the nose. Yeah, I mean, smell that. That's a watered down glass. Yeah. So you get there's a much more potent nose on the Kentucky Owl.
Like I don't want to say like one's better than the other.
No, just different.
At all.
That's all we're doing. That's all I'm doing. I'm not trying to say.
So I don't want people to think that. Oh well, which one do you like better? Well,
dude, we
two ryes.
I mean,
2 different price points.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why we do this. We're doing a comparison here. Kentucky Owl, Pikesville Rye. One's 4 times the price. It better be better than the $45 one, but we'll see. It's gonna be different, I know. I'm getting more corn on this, I think, on the nose because it's not so barrel forward.
So it's on the palate too.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow, what was that flavor? It's just like popped. The initial palate was real soft, real light, and then as it rolled back, it's like whoosh, it just opened up in my mouth.
That was more.
That's like
more than
like heather and maybe it's not grassy, but there's something like.
I think there's more dill on this one.
More dill?
I think so.
Tom R is busting my chops again. Is there a 175?
Is there a 175?
A plastic handle 175 of rye whiskey.
Of rye?
I'm sure there
is. That is a good question.
I will guarantee there is. So this one is not as complex. I think the flavors aren't. It doesn't have the deep woods and the caramel is probably more. The caramel and honey is probably more prevalent in here. I don't know. It probably didn't spend as much time in a barrel either.
No, this one is at least 6 years, where the other one's 11 years. So you're not really comparing apples to apples.
From what I've understood, aging in Kentucky is 2 to 3 times as fast as Scotland.
The heat.
So this would be like a 12 or 15-year-old Scotch in barrel maturity. And that one would be a 25 or 30. So that does make some sense in the complexity of flavor we're pulling out of here. This is a solid glass. Definitely worth sipping, around the fire or at reading a book or working on a computer. Just put it next to the desk there.
What do we got? Mike, is there? Thanks for the. I bet it is good.
What?
And then, nice job tonight, Andrew. #dill pickle. #dill pickle.
All right, so we're maybe we have to get some new coins, and maybe dill pickle will be.
Dill pickle. Rye.
Rye whiskeys. Yeah, this is. Man, I wish
I still really like it though.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, I'm not. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this bottle.
But it's not as complex as the Kentucky Owl.
It tastes nothing of 110 proof. There's no way that feels that hot.
No.
It's
And
much
that's probably why I
much
go
easier
through
drinking.
a bottle fairly quickly.
It's easier drinking.
So.
I'm getting more of the lighter, like almost coconut in this that I wasn't getting in that, because those I think were overpowered by the barreling. Maybe definitely caramel. I think you get the coconut in the finish. Marzipan? I don't know about marzipan.
No, there's probably no marzipan in this.
So where are we? 10:55.
10:55, so we got like 5 minutes.
Okay, so 5 minutes to go. What else do we need to talk through? I've got some scotch in the news, but it's not that time sensitive, so we can skip that for now. It's about some old bottles that have come out. Wow, that Kentucky Owl is fire.
Yeah,
that is some good stuff. Yeah. So I learned a little bit about bourbon tonight. I've learned, to me in the past, I've not done kind of bourbon comparison. So a bourbon is a bourbon is a bourbon to me. Not anymore. That Kentucky Owl, well, I don't know if it's worth 4 times the price. It is definitely a richer, more potent, kind of more my wheelhouse probably.
Yeah.
Bourbon. The rye whiskeys, I think that the rye typically are better for me because of I like the stronger flavors, whereas other bourbons are a lot of corn and.
I've made a lot of old fashions with the Pikesville.
Oh yeah, so that's perfect for that.
Yeah, so that might be why I go through some too.
So. glug, bitter, done.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't need that sugar. I don't need that syrup. We don't need any of that. So Gauquin has done Pikesville, Templeton 4. Is that the same distillery?
Templeton Rye, 4-year, was not impressed.
Well, it is only 4-year.
Yeah, I've never had a Templeton. So
interesting. Whiskypedia. I've not been in Scotch News. I spent all my time online.
I did a quick. Tom sent me the link, and I kind of skimmed through it, but I haven't had a chance. I'll probably.
Is it a new?
I'll probably read it tomorrow at work.
Wait, what? You get paid for that? That's awesome. All right, so we are 3 minutes early.
That's okay.
I need to drink some water because I've been through a couple glasses and I can feel it.
There's no Molly.
No Molly, no pretzels. No, I got some peanuts over there. Maybe we could, pull up the Plex server is disconnected right now because I'm doing some renovation. So, yeah, I'm not a good host.
That's okay.
But I enjoy whiskey.
Hey,
we had a good time.
We made it.
I learned.
We made it on for everybody to check
we
it
had
out.
50. We had 50 some people online.
There's still 30 right now. So
if you haven't liked, please like because that's what you should be doing. I don't know if Telex is on. I did not see him on tonight, and I didn't see if he's going on. If he's not, if he is, check out Telex's channel. Hopefully he's on. I would venture to say he's probably not because I've not seen him on tonight.
I'd love to, Alan, but that's one of those hard to find ones.
Oh man, Alan, I didn't see you were on tonight. Man, we need to get down to Kentucky and do that bourbon.
I know.
I think this spring we need to find some time, like in the spring break time, to spend a couple days in Kentucky.
Yeah.
Because my wife and I did that last year just for a couple of days, and you can hit some. I mean, they're all so close. You can hit 2 or 3 in a day, and you don't have to do the whole trail in one shot. You get multiple times. So
right.
So we'll go down there. We'll hook up with you, Alan. I know you've got some great bottles that you've been wanting to share, and we need to get down there so we can share them.
Yep.
So we'll do that. Hit like, hit subscribe. Go to Patreon. So for those of you Klein Leash will be released tomorrow for Patreons, and it will go to Live for Public on Monday. So you get an extra few days, and we're trying to do that more often. You get first run videos. In fact, I'm also going to release the. I am going to release the John Glazer interview tomorrow to patrons as well.
Okay.
And then we'll have to wait a little while until others can get that. So get online.
Yeah. I'm Instagram. I need to do a little bit better. Bourbon Shenanigans.
Bourbon Shenanigans. He's doing
Instagram,
pictures.
I kind of been lazy this few weeks, but I need to bump that up a little bit, especially with some newer stuff that I got. So. And
we'll get Tom R on live here before too long. He's camera shy, but I think we're starting to break him down.
He's getting goofy.
He's getting goofy. So. That's great. All right. Well, thanks everyone. I'm going to see if I can shut this stream down.
Till next week.
Till next week.
Same bad channel, same bad time.
Yes, 10 p.m. every Thursday night.
Cheers.
Cheers.